So, today is the disappearance day of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada.
Un tā šodien ir viņa dievišķās žēlastības Šrīlas Prabhupādas aiziešanas diena.
So instead of singing Jai Radha Madhava, we will sing this very nice song by Narottam Das Thakur.
Un Jai Radha Madhava vietā šodien mēs dziedāsim Narottam Das Thakura dziesmu.
Sarprasada Bhagavad Viraha Janita Vilapa. Lamentation due to separation from the Lord and His associates.
Un šī ir dziesma par sērošanu, šķiroties no kunga un viņa līdzgaitniekiem.
So today is a day both of lamentation and celebration.
Un šodien mēs gan sērojam, gan svinam vienlaicīgi.
So we will now sing this song of lamentation.
Un tagad mēs dziedāsim sērošanas dziesmu.
He who brought the treasure of divine love and was filled with compassion and mercy. Where has such a personality as Srinivasacharya gone?
Viņš atvēra dievišķās mīlestības dārgumu krātuvi, jo sirds tam bija žēlsirdības un līdzjūtības pilna. Kur viņš ir? Kur ir Srinivasa Thakurs?
Where am I Svarupa Damodar and Rupa Goswami?
Kur ir mani mīļie Svarupa Damodar un Rupa Goswami?
Where is Sanatan?
Kur ir Sanātana?
Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen?
Kur ir Ragunāta Dāsa, kritušo dvēseļu glābējs?
Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta?
Kur ir Ragunāta Bhata un Gopal Bhata?
And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj?
Kur ir man ļoti dārgi? Kur ir Krišnadāsa Kavirāģa?
Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go?
Kāpēc es vairs neredzu izcilo dejotāju kungu Gaurangu?
I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire.
Es sitīšu savu galvu pret akmeņiem un ieiešu ugunī.
Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities?
Kur man meklēt kungu Gaurangu, visu cilteno īpašību krātuvi?
Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these associates, in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps.
Nespēdams nokļūt pie kunga Gaurangas, kuru vienmēr pavada šie baktas, ar kuriem kopā viņš veic savas rotaļas, Narottama Dāsa skaļi raud.
Srila Prabhupada instructs us that we should sing this on the disappearance day of great acharyas.
Srila Prabhupada deva mums norādījumu dziedāt šo dziesmu Dižana Ačārija aiziešanas dienās.
So, in November of 1977,
1977. Gada novembrī
we had the dreaded moment,
mums bija drausmīgs brīdis,
painfully dreaded moment,
ārkārtīgi sāpīgi, briesmīgs moments,
of singing this song for Srila Prabhupada.
kad mēs dziedājam šo dziesmu Šrīlam Prabhupādam.
So it's a very powerful song.
Un tā ir ļoti varena dziesma.
And this song will help us to be connected with Srila Prabhupada.
Un šī dziesma palīdzēs mums būt saiknē ar Šrīlu Prabhupādu.
The more one can feel separation,
Jo tad, kad mēs jūtam atšķirtību,
the more one becomes connected with
jo
one's
vairāk,
beloved.
jo vairāk kāds jūt atšķirtību, jo vairāk viņš izjūt šo te mīlestību.
So now we will study a Srimad Bhagavatam verse
Un tagad mēs studēsim Šrīmad Bhagavatam
in which
pantu,
Srila Prabhupada specifically instructs us about feeling separation from the spiritual master after his departure.
kur Šrīla Prabhupāda ļoti konkrēti runā par to, kā ir jārīkojās tad, kad garīgais skolotājs atstāja šo pasauli.
So today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 28, text number 47.
Un tā mēs lasām 4. dziedājumu, Šrīmad Bhagavatam 4. dziedājuma 28. nodaļas 47. pantu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Atmanam Sochati Dinam Abandhum
Bandhum
Viklava
Viklava
Ashruvi
Ashrubi
Stanau
Tanau
Asitya
Asishya
Dipine Susvaram
Susvaram
Paruroda Sa Atmanam Sochiti Dinam
Atmanam Sachiti Dinam
Abandum Viklavashrubi
Abandum Viklavashrubi
Sanavasisya Vipine
Stanavashishya Vipine
Susvarang Pravirodavsa
Susvaram Prarodasa
Atmanam Sochiti Dinam
Atmanam Sochiti Dinam
Abandum Viklavashrubi
Abadhum Viklavashrubi
Sanavasisya Vipine
Stanavashishya Vipine
Susvarang Pravirodavsa
Susvaram Prarodasam
Atmanam about herself.
Par sevi,
Sochati lamenting.
sērojot,
Dinam wretched.
sagrauta,
Abandham without a friend.
bez drauga,
Viklava broken hearted.
salauztu sirdi,
Ashrubi by tears.
ar asarām,
Stano her breasts.
viņas krūtis,
Asitsya wetting.
slacīja,
Vipane in the forest.
mežā,
Susvaram loudly.
skaļi,
Praviroda began to cry.
sāk
Sā-
raudāt,
She.
viņa,
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Being now alone and a widow in that forest, the daughter of Vidarbha began to lament, incessantly shedding tears which soaked her breasts and crying very loudly. Purport. Figuratively, the queen is supposed to be the disciple of the king. Thus, when the mortal body of the spiritual master expires, his disciple should cry exactly as the queen cries when the king leaves his body. However, the disciple and the spiritual master are never separated, because the spiritual master always keeps company with the disciple as long as the disciple follows strictly the instructions of the spiritual master. This is called the association of vani, words. Physical presence is called vapu. As long as the spiritual master is physically present, the disciple should serve the physical body of the spiritual master, and when the spiritual master is no longer physically existing, the disciple should serve the instructions of the spiritual master.
Tulkojums. Tagad esot viena un atraitne mežā, Vidarbha meita sāka sērot un skaļi raudot, viņas asaras lija pār viņas krūtīm. Skaidrojums. Tēlaini izsakoties, valdniecei ir valdnieka mācekli. Un tad, kad valdnieka ķermenis, un tad, kad garīgā skolotāja fiziskais ķermenis beidz eksistēt, viņa mācekļiem vajadzētu raudāt tieši tāpat, kā valdniece raudāja, kad valdnieks atstāja savu ķermeni. Lai gan māceklis un garīgais skolotājs nekad nav šķirti, tā iemesla dēļ, ka garīgais skolotājs vienmēr ir kopā ar mācekli tik ilgi, kamēr tas strikti seko garīgā skolotāja norādījumiem. To sauc par biedrošanos vānī, vārdu līmenī. Fiziskā klātbūtne to sauc par vapu. Tik ilgi, kamēr garīgais skolotājs ir fiziski klātesošs, skolniekam jākalpo viņa ķermenim, garīgā skolotāja ķermenim, bet kad garīgais skolotājs vairs fiziski neeksistē, skolniekam ir jākalpo viņa garīgā skolotāja norādījumiem.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatam Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Zavadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatadine. So, I remember growing up, we were told that, big boys don't cry.
Es atceros, tad, kad es vēl biju puika un es augu, tad tika teikts, ka lieli puikas neraud.
Only babies cry.
Tikai zīdaiņi rauda.
But when Prabhupada left this world, many big boys cried like anything.
Bet, kad Prabhupada atstāja šo pasauli, ļoti daudz lieli puikas raudāja ļoti.
And big girls also.
Un ļoti lielas meitenes arī.
We cried like anything.
Mēs ļoti, ļoti raudājam.
There's actually a video it was taken in Prabhupada's room when he departed, and you can see all these devotees are just wailing. Big sannyasis just wailing and crying, weeping.
Un ir video, tā brīža video, kad Šrila Prabhupada atstāja šo pasauli, atstāja savu ķermeni, un ir redzams, kā sannyasis un kā visi, kas tur ir ļoti, ļoti, ļoti raudāja tur.
So one may think, well, that's not Krishna consciousness.
Un kāds var teikt, tā nav Krišnas apziņa.
But Prabhupada confirms it here.
Bet Prabhupada apstiprina to šeit.
When the spiritual master, the mortal body of the spiritual master expires, his disciples should cry.
Te rakstīts, kad garīgā skolotāja ķermenis pārstāja funkcionēt, tad mācekļiem ir jāraud.
It's your duty, you're supposed to cry.
Tas ir pienākums, jums ir jāraud.
And if you don't cry, something wrong.
Un ja jūs neraudat, tad kaut kas nav pareizi.
It means you don't really love your spiritual master.
Tas nozīmē, ka jūs patiesībā nemīlat savu garīgo skolotāju.
You don't feel any separation from him.
Jo jūs nejūtat nekādu šķirtību no viņa.
So, if we can't cry, what should we do?
Un ja mēs nevaram raudāt, ko lai dara?
We should cry to be able to cry.
Mums ir jāraud, lai būtu spējīgiem, lai mēs kļūtu spējīgi raudāt.
And if you can't cry to cry, then you should cry to cry to cry.
Un ja jūs nevarat raudāt, tad raudiet, lai jūs varētu raudāt.
Somehow we must find a place in our heart where we can cry to Krishna and we cry to Prabhupada.
Un kaut kur savā sirdī mums ir jāatrod tā vieta, kur mēs varam raudāt Krišnam, raudāt Prabhupādam.
The emotions have to become purified, you see, by connecting them with Srila Prabhupada.
Mūsu emocijām ir jātīrās tās sasaistot ar Šrilu Prabhupādu.
They say, well, what's the advantage then of crying? I mean, what benefit do you get from crying and separation?
Kādu ieguvumu jūs gūstat, ja jūs raudat šajā te šķirtības noskaņojumā?
The benefit you get is you become very powerfully connected by those tears.
Un tas ieguvums ir tas, ka šādā veidā mēs iegūstam ļoti ciešu saikni.
The more you feel separation, the more you become connected.
Jo vairāk jūs jūtat, ka jūs esat šķirti, jo vairāk jūs savienojaties.
So don't be afraid to feel separation.
Un tāpēc nebaidieties justies šķirti.
If you feel separation, it's a great blessing.
Un ja jūs jūtat šo te šķirtību, tad tā ir liela svētība.
Because love becomes stronger in separation than it is in meeting.
Un jo tāpēc, ka mīlestība kļūst spēcīgāka tad, kad ir šī te šķirtība.
And the whole point of the Krishna conscious movement is to develop love for Krishna.
Visa Krišnas kustības jēga, Krišnas apziņas kustības jēga ir attīstīt mīlestību uz Krišnu.
So not only do we feel separation from Srila Prabhupada and the great personalities,
Ne tikai just šo te šķirtību no Šrīlas Prabhupādas un diženām personībām,
we also feel separation from pure devotional service.
mēs arī jūtam, ka esam šķirti no tīras kalpošanas Dievam.
We want to be pure devotees,
Mēs vēlamies būt tīri bhaktas,
but yet we are not.
bet pagaidām mēs tādi nesam.
And that is a cause of lamentation.
Un tas ir iemesls sērām.
We feel that separation in our hearts.
Un mēs jūtam šo te šķirtību savās sirdīs.
They were not connected with pure bhakti yet.
Un tā nav vēl saistīta ar tīru bhakti.
We're still on the platform of mixed bhakti,
Mēs joprojām esam sajaukti bhakti līmenī.
not experiencing the full nectar of Krishna consciousness.
Un mēs vēl nejūtam pilnībā Krišnas apziņas nektāru.
So therefore, not only should we hanker for the association of the great acharyas,
Un tāpēc mums ne tikai ir jātiec,
we should also hanker to achieve that state of pure devotional service.
mums ne tikai ir jāpārdzīvo tas, ka mēs esam šķirti no diženiem ačārījiem, mums ir jāpārdzīvo, ka mums trūks šī, that we should hanker that.
So these are two different types of separation.
What was the last, hanker, two types, yeah, what was the second?
We also should feel separation from pure devotional
Mums
service.
ir jājūt šī šķirtība no tīras kalpošanas Dievam.
So there's two types of separation.
Un tā tad ir divu veidu šķirtības.
I'm separated from the pure devotee,
Es esmu nodalīts no tīra, atdalīts un šķirts
and
no
I'm
tīra bhaktas.
separated from pure devotional service.
Un es esmu šķirts no tīras kalpošanas Dievam.
We see both of these moods described in the Vaishnava songs.
Un mēs redzam, kā abi šie te noskaņojumi ir aprakstīti Vaišnava dziesmās.
The song we have sung this morning expresses the mood of separation from the great acharyas.
Un tā dziesma, ko mēs dziedājam no rīta, tā apraksta šo te noskaņojumu, kad esam šķirti no diženiem ačārījiem.
And the song Kabbe Habbe Bolo Sedinamar by Bhaktivinoda Thakur
Un šī Bhaktivinoda Thakur dziesma
expresses the mood of separation from pure devotional service.
izpauž šķirtību no tīras kalpošanas Dievam.
Kabbe Habbe Bolo Sedinamar. When, oh, when will that day be mine? When my aparada gucci, shudaname ruchi, kripa bole habe hridoye sanchar. When my offenses ceasing, taste for the name increasing, when in my heart will your mercy shine? Kabbe Habbe Bolo Sedinamar. When, oh, when will that day be mine? When, oh, when will that day be mine?
Kad gan pienāks, un tā būs mana diena,
When my offense is ceasing,
kad mani apvainojumi apstāsies,
taste for the name increasing,
un garša pēc svētā vārda palielināsies,
when in my heart will your mercy shine?
un kad manā sirdī tava žēlastība iemirdzēsies,
When, oh, when will that day be mine?
kad gan tā diena būs mana.
So the devotee, he's hankering, when will I achieve pure bhakti?
Un bhakta, viņš ilgojās, viņš lūdz, kad gan es saņemšu tīru bhakti,
And when will
sasniegšu,
I get the association of the great acharyas?
un kad gan man būs iespēja biedroties ar diženiem ačāriem.
Actually, even though they're different, they're actually the same.
Un lai gan tur ir atšķirtība, bet tas ir viens un tas pats.
Because when you achieve the state of pure bhakti,
Tāpēc, ka tad, kad jūs sasniedzat tīra bhakti līmeni,
You're in the constant association of all the acharyas.
tad jūs esat pastāvīgā kontaktā ar visiem ačāriem.
Srila Prabhupada explains
Šīla Prabhupāda skaidro,
that when one's heart is pure, then he can directly speak to you from within your heart.
kad ja tava sirds ir tīra, tad viņš tieši caur tevi runās caur sirdi.
So, we should hanker for the association of the great acharyas
Un mums ir jāilgojas pēc biedrošanās ar diženiem ačāriem.
and hanker to achieve Shuddhanam, the pure name.
Un mums ir jāilgojas sasniegt šudanām tīru svēto vārdu.
In this way, we have to fan the fire of spiritual greed within our hearts.
Un tādā veidā mums ir kaut kādā tā kā ar vēdekli tiek uguns uzpūsts, tad mums ir šī ilgošanās savā
This
sirdī
fire of
jāuzpūst.
spiritual greed will burn away all the lust,
Un šīs alkas, šīs garīgās alkas iznīcinās nodedzinās visu iekāru mūsu sirdī.
it will burn away anger,
Un dusmas nodedzinās,
it will burn away material greed,
un materiālo alkatību nodedzinās,
it will burn away craziness,
un trakumu,
it will burn away laziness,
un slinkumu nodedzinās,
and it will burn away envy.
un sadedzinās
So we have to,
skaudību.
so we need to fan this fire of spiritual greed within our
Un
hearts.
tātad mums ir jāuztur, jāveidina, jāpadara tas, lai tas uguns
When will that day come when
kļūstu
I can
lielāk.
personally meet Srila Prabhupada?
Šīs garīgās alkas satikt Šīlu Prabhupādu.
When will that day come when I can see Radha and Krishna?
Kad gan tā diena pienāks, ka es ieraudzīšu Rādhu un Krišnu?
When I become completely pure devotee and I will personally meet all these great personalities. When will that day come?
Un kad es kļūšu par tīru baktu un kad es ieraudzīšu klātienē visu šīs dižās personības, kad gan šī diena pienāks?
So in this way we can hanker.
Un tādā veidā mums ir jāilgojas.
As I many times explained,
Kā es esmu bieži skaidrojis,
Prabhupada told me, now you just qualify yourself to see Krishna face to face.
Prabhupāda man teica, un tagad tev ir jāpanāk jākvalificējas, lai tu varētu satikties klātienē ar Krišnu.
Therefore, how seriously we have to cultivate pure devotional service.
Lūk, cik mums nopietni ir jākultivē tīra kalpošana Dievam.
Do not think your success is simply to become recognized as an advanced devotee.
Nedomājiet, ka jūsu panākums ir tikai tajā, ka jūs atzīst par dižanu baktu.
Success means when you become qualified to see Krishna face to face.
Panākums ir tad, kad jūs sasniedzat tādu līmeni, ka esat kvalificēti satikties ar
Not when
Krišnu.
you become a GBC or a sannyasi or a guru or something like that.
Ne tā, ka jūs esat GBC, guru vai sanjāsi.
When you can see Krishna face to face, then you're successful. Krishna
Tad, kad jūs redzat Krišnu klātienē, tad jūs esat guvis panākumus.
So it's not just what you're doing externally, it's what's going on in here also that
Un
counts.
tas nav tā, galvenais nav tas, ko jūs darāt ārēji, galvenais, kas notiek jūsu sirdī.
The external is also important
Ārējais arī ir svarīgs.
because the more you perform, the more you can do nice service externally, the more you become purified within.
Jo vairāk jūs veicat jauku kalpošanu ārēji, jo vairāk jūs attīraties iekšēji.
And it works the other way also.
Un tas strādā arī otrādi.
The more you purify your within, then you naturally do first-class service externally.
Jo vairāk jūs attīraties iekšēji, jo labāku kalpošanu jūs darāt ārēji.
So it's like burning a candle at both ends.
Un tas tā kā sveci, kas deg no abiem galiem.
You externally you do very nice service, and internally you purify yourself by intensely chanting Hare Krishna.
Un ārēji jūs veicat jauku kalpošanu, bet iekšēji jūs attīrat sevi skandējot Hare Krishna.
If you burn the candle at both ends, it goes away very quickly.
Un ja jūs sveci dedzināt no abiem galiem, tā ātri nodeg.
So that candle of material contamination, it will be very quickly eradicated if one works intensely both externally and internally.
Un ja mēs strādāsim gan ārēji, gan iekšēji, tad šo materiālo piesārņojumu sveci ātri izdegs.
So this day of Prabhupada's separation is a day we can really try to strengthen our internal feelings about Srila Prabhupada's absence, physical absence from this world.
Un šodien, kad mēs atzīmējam Šrīlas Prabhupādas aiziešanas dienu, mums iekšēji ir jākultivē tās sajūtas, kuras mēs izjūtam, apcerot šo te šķirtību no Šrīlas Prabhupādas.
And I really want to say to all of you that I have the greatest respect and admiration for each of you.
Un es vēlos pateikt jums visiem patiesi, ka man ir patiesa cieņa pret tik vienu no jums.
Because even without having met Srila Prabhupada or seen Srila Prabhupada, you're giving your life to Srila Prabhupada.
Jo, lai gan jūs nesat satikuši un redzējuši Šrīlu Prabhupādu, jūs dzīvojat Šrīlas Prabhupādas
That's
dzīvi.
why I consider you are more advanced than I am, you see.
Un tāpēc es redzu, ka jūs esat vairāk pilnīgāki nekā es esmu.
Because I required that to see Prabhupada and, you know,
Jo man bija nepieciešams redzēt Prabhupādu.
but you have surrendered even without seeing Prabhupada.
Bet jūs esat uzticējuši sev Prabhupādām, pat viņu neredzot.
Therefore, I take it that your faith is stronger than my faith.
Tāpēc es uzskatu, ka jūsu ticība ir lielāka nekā manējā.
So in this way, I feel very much blessed by the association of each and every one of you.
Un šī iemesla dēļ es jūtos ļoti svētīts par iespēju biedroties ar jums, ar katru no jums.
So now I can ask if there's any questions.
Un tagad es jautāju, vai ir kādi jautājumi? Srila Gurudev, I have noticed that you and Guru Mataji spent more and more time in Vrindavan during recent years. I would like to ask you, is there, and I believe there are many realizations, but is there realization that comes again and again from different perspectives that we could say that realization that outshines other realizations? Mans jautājums ir, es esmu pamanījis, ka pēdējos gados jūs un Gurumāte arvien vairāk laika pavadāt Vrindavanā, un es nešaubos, ka daudz realizācijas jums tur ir, bet vai ir kāda realizācija, kas no dažādiem aspektiem atkal un atkal nāk, un ka varētu teikt, ka tā ir kāda stiprāka par kādā vai pārāk par citām realizācijām?
There are definitely different caliber realizations, no doubt.
Jā, protams, ir dažāda kalibra realizācijas.
There are tiny realizations.
Ir nelielas realizācijas,
There's medium-sized realizations.
vidēja izmēra,
And there's humongous realizations.
un ir milzīga izmēra
They're not all the
realizācijas.
same, it's a them.
Jā, un tās nav vienādas. But is there one that is realization you could share with us that it is you could say that is realization of the realizations?
Krishna.
Šī ir tā realizācija.
That's it. Krishna.
Tā tas ir.
That's the highest realization.
Tā ir visaugstākā realizācija.
Any other questions?
Vēl jautājumi?
Yeah.
Как началось распространение книг Шрилы Прабхупады? Это Прабхупада просил преданных или преданные сами догадались и начали распространять?
Kā sākās Šrīlas Prabhupādas grāmatas izplatīšana? Bhaktas paši sāk to darīt, vai Šrīla Prabhupāda lūdz to darīt? How did distribution of the books of Srila Prabhupada started? Srila Prabhupada asked to do that, or devotees did it by themselves?
It was Prabhupada's idea. He sent I think it was Gargamuni. Well, there was some mimeograph machines for sale at some country club in Long Island. And
What is mimeograph machine?
mimeograph machine, I guess before your time.
Yeah.
We did before Xerox machines. There was what's called mimeograph. You take a little piece of paper, a little mimeograph sheet, and you type on it, and then you can put that in the machine. And you can run off maybe 20 or 30 copies from it. The technology is gone now, but it was back in the 60s, before the Xerox came in. Mimeograph was the way you duplicate things. You would type out one stencil, you put it in the mimeograph machine, then you can run about maybe 20 or 30 copies until the mimeograph thing wears out.
So Gargamuni...
So he sent Gargamuni. There was 2 mimeograph machines for sale at some country club in Long Island, so he went out and bought them. And they started printing Back to Godhead magazine with them. Whatever copies, it was originally done on a mimeograph machine, the Back to Godhead magazine.
Sākās viss ar to, ka Gargamuni Prabhu iegādājās 2 mimeogrāfus, tādas mašīnas, ar kura palīdzību tajos laikos, kas vēl bija pirms Xeroxa, tika pavairotas drukātie materiāli. Un Back to Godhead žurnāls tika pavairots ar šo mašīnu palīdzību.
Of course, before that, Prabhupada had the Bhagavatam first canto printed in Delhi.
Un pirms tam Prabhupādam bija Bhagavatam pirmais dziedājums nodrukāts Delī.
And he brought those books with him on the ship.
Un viņš ar kuģi atveda šīs grāmatas.
I was fortunate for some time to own a set of those original Bhagavatam.
Un es biju veiksmīgs, man bija kādu laiku šīs te oriģinālais Bhagavatam.
So Prabhupada was the first book distributor.
Un Prabhupada bija pirmais grāmatu izplatītājs.
He would sell the books and that's how he survived. He would sell the books.
Viņš pārdeva grāmatas un tas bija veids, kādā viņš tur izglābās te Amerikā.
So, George, we had our own press at one time, printing our own books. There's all kinds of different stories about how in the history of book distribution that Prabhupada got a Macmillan Company agreed to print the Bhagavad Gita.
Ir
big printing company.
Ir dažādi stāsti par to no dažādiem aspektiem, kā grāmata izplatīšana sākās, un viena liela grāmata izdevēja piekrīta Bhagavad Gītu izlaist.
For some time we had our own press also, ISKCON Press.
Un mums bija arī vienā brīdī mums parādījās arī pašiem savu tipogrāfiju, ISKCON tipogrāfiju.
We hired Dai Nippon Company in Japan for printing. Dai Nippon Company.
Jā, un mēs sastrādājāmies Dai Nippon kompāniju Japānā.
George Harrison donated something like $19,000 for printing Krishna book.
Un tad George Harrisons ziedoja apmēram $19,000, lai Krishna book izdotu.
So all these books, many books were printed.
Ļoti daudz grāmatas tika uzdrukātas.
Nobody knew how to distribute them.
Un neviens nezināja, kā tās izplatīt.
We would just take Back to Godhead magazines out on the street and sell them for 25 cents a piece.
Mēs vienkārši gājām uz ielu un izplatījām par 25 centiem Back to Godhead šos te žurnālus.
That's how the temples maintain themselves, by distributing Back to Godhead magazines.
Un tādā veidā tempļi sevi uzturēja, izplatot šos te žurnālus.
So no one had any idea how to distribute the books.
Un nevienam nebija vispār ideju, kā izplatīt grāmatas.
In our Austin temple, I was the official book distributor.
Austinas templī es biju oficiālais grāmatu izplatītājs.
We had an incense business. We putting incense in at that time we were supporting our temple by selling Spiritual Sky incense.
Un tajā laikā mēs uzturējām savu templi, pārdodot noteikts markas smaržkociņus.
When I would deliver the incense to the gift stores, I would also put some books on consignment in the bookshop, in the gift store.
Un tad, kad es tajos suvenīru veikaliņos izplatīju šīs smaržkociņus, es arī devu viņiem grāmatas, lai viņi izplatītu.
This way, practically no books are being distributed at all.
Bet
No books are only only Back to Godhead was being distributed. Practically no books are being distributed at all.
Un vispār grāmatas netika izplatītas, tikai šie te Back to Godhead žurnāli.
But then one day devotees were coming back from Harinam Sankirtan in San Francisco.
Bet tad kādu dienu San Francisco baktas atgriezās no Harinams.
And their van ran out of gas.
Un viņu busiņām beidzās degviela.
And didn't have any money.
Un viņiem nebija naudas.
To pay for the gas.
Samaksāt par benzīnu.
So they bargained with the gas attendant, we'll give you these Krishna books for a tank of gas.
Un viņi vienojās ar šo te benzīna tanka īpašnieku, ka viņi iedos viņiem Krishnas grāmatas.
And he did it, he accepted it.
Un par benzīnu. Un viņš
wow,
piekrita.
Maybe we can actually sell these books.
Un tad Bhaktis teica, wow, bet tad mēs taču varam tad pārdot tās grāmatas.
So the devotees in San Francisco, they started selling the books. No one in ISKCON ever thought that they could even sell these books, but they were going out and selling books every day.
Un neviens nepārdeva līdz tam, neizplatīja grāmatas, bet tad Bhaktis San Francisco sāka to
And the
darīt.
news spread all over ISKCON. Devotees in San Francisco are actually selling Prabhupada's books.
Un tad ziņa izplatījās ātri, ka Bhaktis San Francisco pārdod Prabhupādas grāmatas.
And this huge revolution swept ISKCON.
Un šī milzīgā revolūcija pārņēma ISKCONu.
And Prabhupada said, whoever's selling the most books, I will go there and do my translation work.
Un Prabhupāda teica, jo vairāk jūs pārdosiet, jo es vairāk tulkošu.
Boy, did that light the fire of transcendental competition.
Un tad sākās pārpasaulīgā sacensība.
Whoever distributes the most books, Prabhupada will stay at their temple.
Un ka tajā templī, kurā tiks izplatīts visvairāk grāmatas, tur Prabhupāda atradīsies un tad tulkos.
So in this way, book distribution took off like a rocket.
Un tādā veidā grāmatu izplatīšana tā kā raķete.
Books were going out like
Aizgāja.
bombs in World War II, like dropping the bombs on the
Un
enemy.
tas bija tā kā Otrā pasaules karā, ka bumbas meta, tā izplatījās šī te grāmatu izplatīšana.
And it became so intense
Un tā bija tik intensīva.
that one politician said this.
Un ka kāds no politiķiem teica, lūko,
He said, this Hare Krishna movement is growing like wildfire.
ka šī Hare Krishna kustība tā kā meža ugunsgrēks
And if
izplešanās.
something is not done to stop it,
Un ja kaut kas netiks darīts, lai to
it will very
apstādinātu,
soon take over the government.
tad drīz vien viņi pārņems valdību.
That's how intense the book distribution was going on.
Lūk, cik intensīva bija grāmatu izplatīšana.
So, next question.
Nākamais jautājums.
Oh, you're next, yeah. Yeah.
Es gribētu pavaicāt, varbūt ir iespēja Prabhupādu iepazīst mazliet tuvāk, un vai bija kaut kādi sīkumi, kā varēja viņam pakalpot? Kā cilvēkam.
To get to know Prabhupada more, I would like to ask you, were there any details, for instance, how to serve him? Were there something special, how you could
Oh,
serve?
yes. You can read Hari Sari Prabhu's diary and learn so many little subtle things.
Jūs varat palasīt Hari Šauri Prabhu dienas grāmatas.
He was Prabhupada's personal servant.
Viņš ir Prabhupādas personiskais kalps, un viņa
You
dienas
can read
grāmatās ir
Shrutakirti Prabhu's
ļoti daudz detaļu.
memoirs also.
Un,
Shrutakirti
un
Prabhu.
Šuta Kirti Prabhu, viņa dienas grāmatās arī.
And yeah, there's so many things you can learn. There's just unlimited things you can learn. Prabhupada is a perfect acharya. Everything he does, everything he says, it's a lesson for us, everything.
Un tur ir ārkārtīgi bezgalīgi daudz dažādu mācību, jo Prabhupada būdams pilnīgs atšķārīgi, viss, ko viņš teica vai viss, ko viņš darīja, tā ir mācības stunda mums.
I can give you one lesson that I learned from Prabhupada directly.
Piemēram, ir viena mācība, ko es tieši no Prabhupadas iemācījos.
1 minute. That is that some people can't sit on the floor. They're too old. It's hard for them to sit on the floor.
Piemēram, daudz cilvēku nevar sēdēt uz grīdas. Piemēram, viņiem ir vecums, viņi par vecu, lai sēdētu uz grīdas.
So you just haven't forced them to sit on the floor. You provide them a nice chair.
Un, lai viņiem nebūtu jāsēž uz grīdas, jūs viņiem piedāvājat krēslu.
Can you bring a chair into the temple room?
Vai jūs varat drīkst ienest tempļa altāra zālē krēslu?
So anyway, when I was with Prabhupada in Atlanta, 1975,
Un tas bija 1975. gadā Atlantā.
the temple room was packed with devotees.
Un altāra zāle bija pilna ar baktām.
And there was one German scientist, an elderly man named Dr. Wolf.
Un viņu vidū bija kāds vācu zinātnieks, vīrs gados, doktors Wolfs,
who came into the temple room.
kurš ienāca altāra zālē.
So Srila Prabhupada said that someone should get him a chair.
Un šie Prabhupada teica, lai kāds viņam sagādā krēslu.
Well, no one knew where a chair was.
Un neviens nezināja, kur ir
Nobody
krēsls.
knew where a chair was. No one knew where a chair was.
Nevienam nebija ideja, kur ir krēsls.
Everybody's looking around, you know. But actually, when Prabhupada gives an order, there's 300 devotees in the room, okay?
Bet iedomājieties, ir 300
Prabhupada
baktas,
says somebody should get him a chair.
un Prabhupada dod norādījumus.
Every
Atrodiet
devotee in the
krēslu.
room, they're thinking, I would like to be that somebody who gets the chair because Prabhupada said somebody should get in the chair. I would like to be that somebody who finds the chair.
Un katrs domā, es gribētu būt tas, kas atrod krēslu.
So devotees are looking here, looking out in the hallway, looking here. Everyone's looking for a chair. No one can find a chair.
Un visi meklē krēslu, neviens nevar atrast krēslu.
But I'm standing right by the Vyasa. I was standing right on Prabhupada's right side by the Vyasa-san. He's sitting here and I'm standing right here.
Un es blakus Prabhupādam stāvu pie Vyasasanas.
So I looked around behind the Vyasa-san.
Un es apstos apkārt Vyasasanai.
And what did I see behind the Vyasa-san?
Un ko es redzēju Vyasasanas?
A chair!
Krēsla.
And I was the only devotee in the whole temple room that saw the chair back there.
Un es biju vienīgais bakta, kas redzēja krēslu.
Wow, here's my chance.
Un tagad ir mana iespēja.
I grabbed that chair. I went like this. The room was packed. I went like this to the devotees, so they had to make a little pathway for me in front of Prabhupada.
Un es paķēru to krēslu un baktas,
And I took that chair and I gave it to Dr. Wolf, you see.
baktas pašķīrās un es iedevu doktoram
And that
Wolfam
was
to
the
krēslu.
perfection of my life, I can tell you right now. That was the
Un
perfection
tā bija
of my
mana
life.
dzīves pilnība.
To give that chair to Dr. Wolf because Prabhupada wanted him to have a chair.
Iet pasniegt doktoram Wolfam krēslu, tāpēc, ka Prabhupada vēlējās,
So
lai
there's a lot
tas
of
tik
lessons there.
notiktu.
You see, to please your spiritual master, that is the perfection of your life. you see.
Iepriecināt savu garīgo skolotāju, tā ir dzīves jēgas augstākā
Because they didn't
pakāpe.
have benches there, like you have benches here.
Mums šeit ir tādi soli,
Some elderly people, they can sit on the benches, you see.
kur vecāki cilvēki var sēdēt.
But we didn't have any benches in
Bet
the
mums
temple.
nebija tādi soli.
It was either the floor or standing up.
Vai nu sēdi uz grīdas vai stāvi kājās.
So that's one lesson. Always provide a chair for elderly people who can't sit on the floor.
Vienmēr nodrošiniet vecāku gadagājumu cilvēkiem krēslu, lai viņiem nav jāsēž uz
Now,
grīdas.
Mataji has something.
May I add something?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the question was that how to serve Srila Prabhupada.
Jautājums bija, kā kalpot Šrīlam Prabhupādam.
So you gave the pastimes that you had it when Prabhupada was physically present. Now the devotees, we don't have that association and Prabhupada directly instructing. But Prabhupada has said that for advancing in Krishna consciousness, he has given all in his books. Everything is in his books. So we study and we follow those instructions and guidance. We are serving directly to Srila Prabhupada.
That's right.
So there are so many little things that we are deviating from.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
we have to.
Just like
Yes,
I
Yeah,
see many devotees. Go ahead.
Jautājums bija, kā pakalpot Šrīlam Prabhupādam. Un jūs izstāstījāt piemēru, kas ir no jūsu dzīves, kad Šrila Prabhupāda bija klātesošs, bet tagad baktām nav tādas iespējas. Bet Prabhupāda teica savās, ka visus norādījumus viņš ir devis savās grāmatās. Un ja mēs lasām šos norādījumus un sekojam tiem, tādā veidā mēs tieši kalpojam Šrīlam Prabhupādam. Un tas mums ir jādara, jo bieži mēs redzam, kā pat dažādos sīkumos notiek atkāpšanās no tā, par ko ir teicis Šrila Prabhupāda.
Yeah, just like in Prabhupada's books in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's very clearly explained by Prabhupada that we should be clean-shaven.
Kā piemēram, Šrīlas Prabhupādas grāmatās ir skaidri pateikts, ka mums ir jābūt gludi skūtiem.
But many devotees in ISKCON now they're keeping beard and mustache, completely ignoring Prabhupada's instructions.
Bet daudzi baktas ISKCONā nesā ūsas un bārdas pilnībā, kas ir pretēji Prabhupādas norādījumiem.
But I'm happy to see all of the men here, they're all clean. Except our guest is for initiated devotees. You're welcome with your beard.
Tas ir attiecās uz iniciētiem baktām.
But all initiated devotees should be clean-shaven.
Visi, kas ir iniciēti, visiem ir jābūt ir
There's a
skūtiem.
gentleman here attending the lecture now who has a beard and mustache. That's fine.
Tad, ja šeit ir kungs, kas ir ieradies uz šo lekciju ar bāru,
But
nav
once you
nekas
get
mums
initiated,
pretklāt.
after initiation, then you should be clean-shaven.
Bet pēc iniciācijas ir jāskujās.
It's not that we hate people with beards.
Nav tā, ka mēs ienīstam cilvēkus ar bārdām.
We love everyone.
Mēs visus mīlam.
If you have a beard and mustache, you're welcome to
Jums ir
participate in
ūsas
our
un
movement.
bārdas, lūdzu, nāciet pie mums.
But when you take Diksha, then you have to be clean-shaven.
Bet tad, kad jūs pieņemat dikšu, tad ir jāskujās.
So this we can learn from Prabhupada's books.
Un to mēs varam mācīties no Prabhupādas
Jā.
grāmatām.
At the same time, about the regulative principles, we take the vows we should be following. This is given by the Acharyas and
Un
Srila Prabhupada.
tas pats ar regulējušiem principiem. Ja mēs kaut ko solām, tad mums ir jāseko saviem solījumiem, un to mums ir ačārī norādījuši.
Just like Prabhupada clearly states in his teachings that no illicit sex.
Un kā Prabhupāda skaidri savā mācībā pasaka,
And
ka
that rule is just as
nedrīkst
strict for grihasthas as it
neatļautas-
is for sannyasis and brahmacharis.
Sorry.
That rule is just as strict for grihasthas as it is for brahmacharis and sannyasis.
Ka nedrīkst būt nepieļaujams seksuālās attiecības, un šis nosacījums ir vienādi spēkā gan brahmačārī, gan sanjāsī, tāpat arī uz grihasthām.
With the exception, the householders can use sex for producing children.
Izņemot ar izņēmumu gadījums ir, kad ģimenes cilvēki stājas seksuālās attiecībās, lai radītu bērnus.
Once in a month after chanting 50 rounds of japa.
Vienreiz mēnesī, pirms tam 50, noskaitot 50 apļus džapas.
So this instruction is very much being neglected in ISKCON nowadays.
Un šis norādījums ir atstāts novārtā ISKCONā.
Because devotees aren't reading the books scrutinizingly.
Un tāpēc, ka bhaktas nelasa detalizēti un ļoti rūpīgi grāmatas.
There's another instruction. Prabhupada said, every spare minute, read these books. Every spare minute, read these books.
Vēl ir viens norādījums. Katrā brīvajā brīdī lasi šīs grāmatas, teica Prabhupāda.
We should know these books like a lawyer knows his law books, Prabhupada said.
Prabhupāda teica, jums ir jāzina šīs te grāmatas tāpat, kā jurists zina savus likumu krājumus.
Read these books and follow these books.
Lasi šīs grāmatas un seko šīm grāmatām.
It's our life.
Tā ir mūsu dzīve.
It is only through these books that we are connected with Srila Prabhupada.
Tikai caur šīm grāmatām mums ir saikne ar Srilu Prabhupādu.
Prabhupada is now present in the form of his instructions.
Prabhupāda ir klātesošs šobrīd savu norādījumu formā.
If you want to be in the contact of Prabhupada at every moment, read his books and follow his books.
Ja jūs vēlaties ik brīdi būt saskarē ar Srilu Prabhupādu, lasiet šīs grāmatas un
And
sekojiet
then you will
tām.
feel how the pure devotee is blessing you, guiding you, and inspiring you at every minute.
Un tad jūs ik mirkli jutīsiet, kā tīrs bhakta dod jums svētību, iedvesmo jūs un vada jūs.
Any other questions?
Vēl jautājumi?
Yes.
Christian devotee said that Jesus ate fish, drank wine, and that is the reason they follow them with fish and wine. How we can break his disillusion?
Kristieši saka, ka Jēzus ēda zivis un dzēra vīnu, un tā iemesla dēļ arī viņi ēd zivis un dzer vīnu. Kā mēs varam lauzt šo te viņu ilūziju?
What is the question?
Question is that Christians say that Jesus ate fish and drank wine, and this is the reason why they do the same. How can we break this illusion?
Yes. We are also allowed under emergencies to eat anything we have to eat to survive.
Lai izdzīvotu, arī mums ir atļauts ēst jebko, lai izdzīvotu, ja ir nepieciešamība tāda.
We can also eat fish if it's a matter of life and death, if you're starving in the desert.
Ja mēs, piemēram, tuksnesī mirstam badā, arī mēs varam ēst zivis.
But we're not in that situation.
Bet mēs neesam šādā situācijā.
There's ample supply of grains, fruits, vegetables, and dairy products. We're not dying of starvation.
Mēs nemirstam badā, mums ir pilnībā piena produkti, augļi, graudaugi.
Those people in the desert, there was no food. They were in the desert, there was no food at all. No food at all, nothing.
Tiem cilvēkiem tuksnesī vispār nebija nekā.
So, under that condition, fish eating could be allowed.
Šādos apstākļos zivsēšana ir atļauta.
But not when there's full facility for vegetarian diet.
Bet ne tad, ja ir pilnībā pieejama veģetāra diēta.
Prabhupada told Harikesh Maharaj he could eat meat for preaching in Russia if he had to.
Šrila Prabhupāda teica Harikešam Maharāģam, ka viņš Krievijā var ēst gaļu, ja tas ir nepieciešams sludināšanai.
He didn't have to.
Viņš nedarīja
But he had
to.
been given permission. If necessary for preaching in Russia, you can eat meat.
Viņš teica, ja tas ir nepieciešams, lai sludinātu Krievijā, tu vari ēst gaļu.
So in an emergency situation, if it's a matter of life or death, the devotee can eat meat if he has to.
Ja tas ir dzīvības un nāves jautājums, tad arī bhakta to drīkst ēst.
And as far as the wine, I have read that actually there was it's not that they were making wine for getting drunk. It was like grape juice is fermented. That's all. Fermented grape juice because there's no refrigeration.
Un tas, ko es zinu, ka tad vienkārši viņi negatavoja vīnu, bet vienkārši viņi gatavoja vīnogu sulu, un tā kā nebija dzesēšanas iekārtas, tad vienkārši tā sula bija iebojājusies.
Not that Jesus was, and the disciples were having a drunken parties, getting drunk. The Last Supper was a drunken party.
Ne tā, ka Kristus tur piedzērās un viņiem bija balītis tur
They didn't have
piedzēršos
refrigeration,
cilvēku.
so the grape juice became a little fermented, that's all.
Un viņiem nebija vienkārši saldēšanas iekārtas, atdzesēšanas iekārtas un vīnogu sula nedaudz ierūga.
You think Jesus was a drunkard?
Es domāju, ka Jēzus bija alkoholiķis.
Is he? No. He was intoxicated with love of God, not
Nē,
with
viņš bija apreibis ar mīlestību uz Dievu,
not with wine.
nevis ar vīnu.
Okay, anything else? There's no prasadam today, so maybe we can go a little over time and get away with it. It's fasting. Any other questions? Yes.
Es lasīju pētījumos, tas Vaišnava pētījums bija, kad Bībelē tur nepareizi ir nepareizi iztulkots no senās Bībeles, kad visās vietās, kur teiks, kad Kristus ir ēdis zivi vai dzēris vīnu, tur no sen ebreju valodas tur nebija tā. Un kad Kristus neēda zivi un nedzēra vīnu.
I've read research that proves that it's just a wrong translation, and Jesus never ate fish and never drank wine.
Yeah. Well, in either case, we don't need to do it. Whether he did it under a condition or he didn't do it, we don't need to do it.
Lai kā nebūtu, vai viņš to darīja, vai viņam bija tādi apstākļi, vai viņš to nedarīja, bet mēs to nedarām.
We have ample supply of grains, vegetables, fruits, and dairy products. We don't have to even think about taking it.
Mums ir pilnībā, mēs esam apgādāti ar piena produktiem, augļiem, dārzeņiem un graudaugiem.
Okay, we'll stop here.
Ar to arī beigsim.
And now the next program starts at what time? 11. 12. What time will we? There'll be 12 o'clock. We'll be doing a Puspanjali and an arti for Prabhupada. Huh? 12 o'clock, the Bhoga offering. Yeah.
And then 12:30 most probably the arti.
12:30 an arti, and then Puspanjali.
Pushpanjali is before that.
Before that. At what time? During the offering time?
After 20 minutes.
What time?
After 12:20.
12:20? Okay. So everyone should be here at what time? Noon?
Actually, those who are bringing the offering, they should be here by 11:30.
What time should everyone be here? They're just attending?
11:30. Those who are bringing the offering should be here 11:30, so that
Those who are bringing offerings should have the offerings here by 11:30.
those who want to participate, they can be here for 12.
What time?
12.
Those who want to participate, they can be here at noontime.
At noon time, okay. Everyone be here by noon. If you're bringing an offering, bring it by 11:30, an offering for Prabhupada.
Tātad, ja jūs gatavojat Prabhupādam, ko piedāvāt, tad jums ir jābūt 11:30 un pārējiem 12 būs šī te bogas piedāvāšana Prabhupādam, būs ārati un pušpanjali.
And then tonight at 6 we'll have more Prabhupada Katha.
6:30.
6:30?
Jā.
Okay.
5:30 is Abhishek. And,
Oh, Abhishek. 5:30 is Abhishek. All right, we're going to be here 5:30 in the evening. Okay, very good.
And then 6:30.
All right, very good.
Jā. Tātad 5:30 Abhisheka un 6:30 ir lekcija.
Let's absorb ourselves in feeling the importance of Prabhupada in our lives and feel some separation to encourage us to be able to meet him very soon one day.
Un gremdējieties pārdomās par Prabhupādas nozīmi jūsu dzīvē, un lai tādā veidā jūs pēc iespējas ātrāk viņu satiktu kādu dienu.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace Shriman Sankarshan Dasati Har Maharaj ki.